everyone, welcome to Good Witch Intuitive Tarot. Just a quick message. Thank you guys for reaching out to me, for the well wishes, for everything while I was in the hospital. I'm home right now. I'm still really sick, so I'm going to start from the very beginning for those of you that don't know the story. I was in Europe. My daughter and I were in Europe. It was like a working vacation. We were really trying to find our forever home in Europe. We know we're leaving the United States. We just needed to investigate some of the cities that we might move to in Europe. And we were there for like, I'd say about 5 weeks in Europe. And we ended up getting the neurovirus while we were in Europe. We think it was the neurovirus because people around us had the neurovirus and it was going around. So we were sick for just a few days, right? So I'm going back that far because this could be connected to that now that we know what's going on with me. I'm on my way back from Europe and we came back on a boat. So it took 2 weeks to get back from Europe. I get a sinus infection and I really don't have proper medicine or anything like that, but I'm doing the best I can with this sinus infection. Then when I'm home, I get bronchitis. Then after that, everything's within like a couple weeks of each other. Then I end up with pneumonia. And I end up with this like reflux that's really bad. And I've never had any reflux in my life. When we were in Europe, we were walking 15 miles a day, no problem, no worries. So we were really just having a great time of activity. Like, I'm a very active person, and I am a person who gets up in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning, go until 8 o'clock at night, when I finally go, okay, let me take a breath. Every single day. This is my life. I'm a very, very active person. Okay, now fast forward. I'm having all these weird things that I don't normally have. I'm never really sick or anything like that. It's very odd when I even get sick. And I'm going to doctors. I went to 3 different doctors. I've, dealt with medical professionals, and, each time it's like, here's a inhaler. You're fine, and the whole time you guys know it's about my breathing. Like, I can't breathe. And I'm on here with you guys, and I'm clicking on and off every minute and a half, 2 minutes on every video, which is why the personal readings had to wait. I'm so sorry for those of you that are still waiting for personal readings. I just can't give you a video where I'm constantly clicking off and can't breathe. It's different for the free videos, they're free. And mostly you can't really tell that I'm clicking on and off constantly on most of the time, right? And I always, before the video, say, I'm going to click on and off because I'm really having a hard time breathing. I apologize, but you probably won't even notice it, right? We've done that for how many weeks now? 5 weeks at least. So anyway, in between all this, like I said, doctors keep sending me home going, you're fine. Here's this, here's that, you're good. And here's a antibiotic, here's a steroid, an inhaler. And none of these things are working. None of them, not one. And then, I'm on this nebulizer with albuterol that it was given to me by someone else, not even one of the doctors I went to. And they said, when you close completely up like that, use this, you're going to, at least it'll keep you alive. Because I'm not really getting any help, and people are just kind of passing me off to the next guy or the next thing. And, it's kind of, I think I'm like, something's wrong with me, like mentally, because they're like, you're fine. And then I feel like I'm dying, right? Last 3 nights, literally every single night, I almost died. If it weren't for my daughter shoving a nebulizer in my mouth and saying, Mom, breathe, with albuterol in it. Like, she would come out, like, I'd be like, and she would come out and like fill it up and push it in my mouth and turn it on and like make me breathe. 3 nights in a row this happened right after I had been to a 3rd doctor. And anyway, long story short, my mom comes over the next day and she's like, I'm dialing 911 and I'm making them take you in. Like, you've got to go to the hospital. So anyway, she dials 911. We get medics here. We get EMTs and medics because it's a breathing issue, right? So they come in, they evaluate me. They're like, you're fine. If we take you to the hospital, they're only going to send you right home because you're absolutely fine. And I'm like, all right, well, I must be crazy. Like, how is this? And my daughter's like, how is this happening that you are this sick and they can't see it? This is like, the 10th medical professional we've dealt with. These guys, this whole group of EMTs and medics, on top of all the doctors and nurses and everything. Like, you've been involved with like 10 or 12 medical professionals within these last 5 weeks. No one sees it but us. And I'm starting to think something's wrong with me, like mentally. Like, why can no one see how sick I am? Or am I not that sick and I'm just like crazy? So anyway, they leave and they're like, you're fine. You're like, they're only going to send you home. There's no sense in you really going. We'll take you if you want, but there's really no sense in it. They're going to send you right home because you're absolutely fine. Look at all your numbers are good. So anyway, I'm like, okay, well, even though I explained to them what's happening and everything, and they're looking at me like I'm nuts. So they leave, and all of a sudden, like, I'm feeling like I can't breathe again. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. My mom's like, you get in that car, and she takes me. We go to a new hub. It's a new emergency room right down the road for me. And it's the only hospital branch, the only hospital in this entire area I would go to, the one that I was going to have the EMTs take me to just minutes before this happened. They opened a new emergency room in my neighborhood. So in other words, I don't have to drive 45 minutes to that hospital. All I have to do is go 5 minutes down the road, and there's that emergency room that's theirs. It belongs to their hospital. It's a brand new emergency room. My mom pulls up at the bay, the ambulance bay, drops me off. My daughter's got my arm. We're walking through the door, and I'm fainting as we're walking through the door, and I'm going, and they're like, what's going on? And my daughter's like, she can't breathe. And they're like, so they immediately start helping me. They're giving me oxygen. They're doing all this stuff. My mom's parking the car. She comes in and she's like, what happened? And they're like, she collapsed. And it was just crazy. And I'm thinking, these people probably think I'm insane. Like, this is all in my head. Like, I'm crazy, right? So I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I can't believe I'm going through this. I know there's nothing wrong with me. I've been to multiple doctors and all this, but I just can't breathe. And maybe they're panic attacks. Maybe something's wrong with me. I don't know why, because I don't have any stresses. Like, why would I be, like, I don't have any reason to have panic attacks. Why is this happening? And they're like, this isn't a panic attack. You are not breathing. And I'm like, I know, but why? Why? So anyway, they start running tests and everything. And next thing you know, they've got me on another gurney being rushed to their hospital to be admitted. And finally, I'm getting real help. Anyway, long story short, we find out my heart is only operating at 30% and has been all this time that I've been sick and telling you guys I can't breathe, and I'm seeing doctors and they're supposed to be helping me and they're not helping me. And we find out all this stuff. So anyway, they do all these tests on me. And I mean everything. Invasive tests, non-invasive tests, you name it. They left, while I was in the hospital all week, they left no stone unturned with me. They cannot find one reason why someone as healthy as I am has a heart that decided to stop working correctly. That I don't have one clogged artery. I don't have any plaque buildup. I don't have anything going on in my entire body that says you're unhealthy, unfit, or unwell, other than the fact that I have a heart that decided that it's only going to work at 30%. It is crazy, absolutely crazy, bonkers that they can't find a reason. The only thing I can figure out, and that I kept saying, was, what about all these viruses? I've never been sick like this. I've never had these before. This is not a normal me to be sick week after week with, these sinus infection, bronchitis, pneumonia and reflux. Like, these all happened to me one by one by one by one. And, and if we go back a couple weeks before the sinus infection, there was the norovirus. We got to keep that in mind. That happened about 3 weeks before all this stuff started while I was in Europe. So finally, we're getting acknowledgement here of this is not normal. And they're starting to acknowledge the fact that it is very possible, after leaving no stone unturned and doing every possible test they could do, that whatever virus I caught, whether it be norovirus or whatever kind of virus way back when, that wreaked havoc on my system, it could also be, but I never really thought anything of it, because it was like, this week I have this, 2 weeks later I have that, 2 weeks after that I have that. So it's not like I had them all at once, it's just like I kept having these different things, and I kept seeing different doctors and being diagnosed with different things, right? So it is possible that those viruses, whatever it is, that virus, attacked my heart and left my heart in this state. So now the hospital finally just had to let me go home. They're like, we can't keep you here forever, because we can't even give you the heart healing medicine that you need, because every time we do, your blood pressure tanks to a very, very low. I have this lower end blood pressure. It's not low blood pressure, but it's the lower end of healthy blood pressure. So the heart healing medicines are geared for people with high blood pressure, and it brings their blood pressure down to where it needs to be. In my case, since I don't have health issues or high blood pressure or anything like that, it tanks my blood pressure. So they've sent me home. This coming week, I'm going to be working with a new team of doctors that isn't in the hospital, that is, actually knows my situation. And they're going to try to see if they can figure something out to help me. The heart healing medicines may or may not work, and they may or may not ever be able to be taken by me. But the hope is that someday that they're going to be able to, heal my heart enough to where it starts working like a normal heart again. After the trauma that it's been through. I feel part of the reason that this happened is because I never got proper help. I never, all these medical professionals that I went to, no one ever actually helped me. They just were like, oh, here's an inhaler, here's, some medicine. But no one ever got to the core reason why I couldn't breathe. And why I couldn't breathe was heart-related, not... yes, there were other things that were masking the breathing issue, like, pneumonia and, bronchitis and this and that and the other. But because they never ran any tests or anything, they never got to the core problem that was my heart. These new doctors, there's no guessing. They know everything because they're going to have all the hospital records. And the hospital knows, has done all the tests possible. So they have all the proof that I needed to say, no, I really am sick. I really do need help. A lot of help. Like, this was very serious. This whole thing's been a serious situation that got treated like it was nothing. Through all of this, I realized that a lot of what doctors do is guess. They just say, you have this or you have that, and then they send you on your way. But I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Those of you who are waiting for private readings, thank you so much for your patience. And again, I'm going to say it for like the 100th time. If you want a refund, I absolutely don't mind at all. If you do want to wait, I'm going to see a new doctor this week, and hopefully I still am going to be able to work some. I really feel that, and I have to have that. I'm go, go, go Energizer Bunny. So I fully intend on getting back to work soon. And I just can't take any personal readings, any more personal readings. If I've already promised you a personal reading, that's what I'm talking about. Within the next couple weeks, I want to have those all out to you, as long as I'll know more this week, whatever the doctor tells me to do. But please don't book new personal readings. No new personal readings. But those of you that have already booked that I promised a long time ago, I will get to work on those very, very soon. I will know more this week. Thank you for your patience. If you want a refund, please, please, please don't feel weird about asking for it. It is no worries. All right. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.